Alright guys, it's jerninghgam here. Police say a woman in her 40s has been arrested of suspicion of murdering a 10-year-old or something, which is ridiculous. Why would people be doing this? Says it on the news. Russia President Valentin Putin has agreed to provide a security assassin to Bell following 7 days. They're talking about something different on the news, though. I mean, why do people keep going around killing people? Like I say, the world's getting worse, and some people will probably think it's sickening that hearing that kids getting murdered, but this is what's happened in the UK, what I've just told you. A woman has killed a 10-year-old in the UK, yeah, sickening. And this is what I do. I like to talk about news, and I like to update the news, and this is what I'm talking about. A lot of people are probably going to be horrified what I've just said about the news, what's happened today in the UK. So it says England has suspicion of its students hoping to apply for their levels of grades on the base of their... So they're worrying about the UK students that need to get into college and schools, and they want the grades to be up so they can get proper jobs. That's what I reckon's going on. England sets a scrap and replace with all units that will specify deals with pandemics. Ireland has reported its largest daily number of new coronavirus cases, seen earlier May. 200 positive tested on Saturday. So it's gone up again in Northern Ireland. Like I say, it's talking about the woman's arrested on suspicion of murder. We're going back to that now. Of a 10-year-old boy she's killed, apparently. Actions of West London. So this is the UK. A lot of people that are from that area. The teenager who went missing in Seas, Lancashire, has been named brothers Sharban and Human Zand Habrand, whatever that means. Wiltshire police say young men have died after a car crash in the house of an A4 near Clampton during an early hours this morning. So I'm updating the news to let you people know. It's sometimes a sickening world, and you can see the police are inside here in this restaurant for some reason, unless the police are policing the restaurant, so I don't know what's going on. We're going to take this out and have a look.
Officers are carrying out COVID-19 security checks.
Also, when we come into the shift, we have start screening COVID-19.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Building this relationship is crucial because the officers tell us that even in a town where cases are going up, the public sometimes...
So the coronavirus is still around, as we all know.
Anybody likes to be told what to do, and I mean, we really don't like telling them what to do, but when it's for their own good, it's really for their own well-being and for them and the families.
Sergeant Jerninghgam wants to take us to a pub nearby.
This pub we're going to now, historically they've had some issues. Obviously the pubs have been shut for a number of months, they've opened recently. So the landlord, I understand they're trying to get some money in.
Greater Manchester Police.
The landlord here is happy to speak with us, but our interview is interrupted.
That type of situation, I'll go and speak to him now.
Yeah, it's kicking off near a bar.
The police can issue fines, but enforcement is being used as a last resort.
It's got to be a balance, hasn't it? Because you don't want them to come in and start fining people, because that'll put...
As you can see there, about the woman that killed somebody there. It's not a joke. It's just real stuff here. It's not fake, I've said. So it says there.
How confident are you that once you've left here, it's not just going to go back to how it was a couple of minutes ago?
Well, we've got confidence in the landlord and the licensee in this case. We can't be outside 24/7 to ensure he knows what he needs to do. He knows his responsibilities, and I'm hoping that when we leave here, he continues those responsibilities and ensures that everyone stays safe in the pub.
This dedicated COVID-19 patrol team will visit the same venues multiple times over the weekend.
How much is this taking away, I suppose, from regular policing?
Well, our day job, basically.
There's a lot of police in Manchester, as you can see here.
course it is, yeah, because I get emails asking about issues that are affecting the obviously constituents, and I can't respond to them. I can't wait to see the victims of crime.
Talking about drivers in Spanish guards,
The COVID
Spain,
legislation
Bull
just haven't
Max,
got the staff or the money. It's
coming
very,
soon.
very
This
hard
one.
for everyone.
The Home Office told us it knows these patrols put a strain on police resources, but those that flout the rules must be stopped to protect us all. Katerina Vitozzi, Sky News in Oldham.
4 young men have died after a car crashed into a house and
See, the one was talking about the car crash.
in Wiltshire during the early hours of this morning. Police, fire and
Wiltshire.
ambulance crews were called to the scene in Derry Hill near Cairn, but the 4 men inside the car died at the scene. Well, let's talk to Kit Bradshaw, who joins me now from the newsroom. Kit, what more can you tell us?
That's right, Isabel. This happened in a fairly rural location, the village of Derry Hill, about 15 miles southwest of Swindon, and it was 3 a.m. this morning on a single carriageway stretch of the A4 where the speed limit drops to 40 miles an hour, where a vehicle
Crashed on Wiltshire. Police say 4 young men have died after a car crash. House on A4 near Hampton this morning. Coronavirus case numbers. 200 positive Saturday in Northern Ireland. Don't know about UK and Scotland numbers.
4 young males, all from the local area. We've had a statement from Wiltshire Police. Superintendent Steve Cox has told us that this was an absolutely horrific collision on our roads in the early hours of this morning. All blue light services attended the scene and were met with what he calls a devastating scenes after a vehicle travelling along the A4 collided with a house and caught on fire. All 4 occupants of the vehicle died at the scene. Their families have been informed. We're in the process of assigning each family with specialist trained officers. Now, the surrounding roads in this area of Wiltshire remain closed while investigators try to work out exactly what happened. Police not giving any further details about the 4 victims or their ages or their names, but some people have been paying tribute to them on social media. One man saying this is a sad and very dark day. Another woman saying, rest in peace, little angels.
Following the 7 days protesting across the country.
Terribly sad, Kit. Thank you. A woman in her 40s has been arrested on suspicion of the murder of a 10-year-old boy in West London. The child was found dead at an address in Acton in the early hours of this morning. The suspect walked into a police station and spoke with officers. Police have confirmed 2 bodies have been found in the search for 2 brothers who went missing at sea off the coast of Lancashire yesterday. 18-year-old Mohammed Shabir and his 16-year-old brother Ali from Dewsbury, West Yorkshire, were last seen close to St Anne's Pier in Lytham, St Anne's. Thousands of residents in California have been told to evacuate as wildfires continue to burn out of control. Forecasters have warned that the risk
I've done these
of
videos
fires
twice so
breaking out
people can
in
understand them
high, with
and
temperatures
things.
soaring and high winds. Vladimir Putin's told Belarus's leader that Russia is ready to offer military assistance as anti-government protests continue over last week's disputed election. President Alexander Lukashenko described his opponents as rats at a rally of his supporters, while in the centre of the capital Minsk, tens of thousands called on him to go. Our Foreign Affairs editor Deborah Haynes is in Vilnius, in neighbouring Lithuania.
A country at a crossroads. Calls for change growing. 1 week on from elections they say were rigged. Leave, they tell their president. But Alexander Lukashenko says he's not going anywhere. This smaller rival crowd cheering for their man. He claims Western forces are massing near the border. Talk too of a Russian offer of military support if necessary. But does he really mean it?
Lukashenko himself is bluff. He's always saying Russia will come, Russia will come, Russia will come, and it comes from Lukashenko. And primarily he wants to message it to the Westerners, explaining to them, look, if you don't support me, Russia will come. But he is bluffing, and I don't think that Westerners buy it. The Westerners were listening to Lukashenko for so many years, promising democracy and reforms, and he never kept his promises. So I think now he will be left alone.
Police violence against protesters has amplified the mutiny. the Belarusian ambassador to Slovakia becoming the first top official to quit.
Like all Belarusians, I'm shocked by the stories of torture and the beatings of the citizens in my country. I'm in solidarity with those who took to the streets of Belarusian cities with peaceful processions so that their voice was heard.
Several journalists from state-run broadcasters also calling time on the regime.
My message is, don't be afraid, don't lie to the people, just try to be honest, because you see through your window that the country opened eyes, and right now the Belarusian people are on their way to become democracy and honest country with honest elections.
Perhaps so, but the threat of Russian involvement will be worrying the neighbours.
The person the protesters think really won the election is hiding out here in Lithuania after fleeing Belarus last week. Svetlana Tikhonovskaya still has a few more days to go in quarantine because of the coronavirus pandemic, but people will be watching her next steps very closely.
Even the Pope is paying attention to what's happening.
Mio pensiero va anche alla cara Bielorussia.
Calling for rights to be respected. Another sign of the significance of this moment.
Yeah.
Deborah Haynes, Sky News, Vilnius.
You're watching Sky News. Coming up after the break, a race for a vaccine and why the delayed Tokyo Olympics may not go ahead at all.
Ah, interesting. Like I say, guys, this is another short video. Hope you've all enjoyed it, and girls, thank you for joining me. And they'll be talking about more vaccines later, so check out the news channel. Alright, see you in the next one. Peace.